Geolocation is short for geographical location. It refers to the use of an internet-connected device. That device is identified by tracking the physical location. In this tutorial, we are going to mark the geolocation, and I will show you two ways for changing the location to be in a different place. First will be the cloud-based Selenium Grid. Second will be the new Selenium 4 feature. I will show you how to perform all of this information and steps using TestNG as the test framework, and all of the code will be on GitHub. Let's start with the cloud-based Selenium Grid by going to this website created by lambdatest called Automation Capabilities Generator. In this website, we're able to select a geolocation by any country that's located in this dropdown. We see that all of these options are countries. And within these countries, the sample code will update. Let's select the first country. And the capability name shows geolocation. Then we see the country as a value. The value is AL. We can also select other countries like Israel. And the value changes from AL to IL. Also, how about United States? That value is US. Now, at this point, we see a good use case for marking a geolocation. And that use case is when the application changes with different features depending on the location. To track my laptop, I will use Where Am I? This is a tool that finds the location based on map coordinates. Let's start by creating a new class. Right-clicking the package demo TestNG, new Java class. The name will be geolocation underscore Selenium Grid. In this class, I will write public web driver, then import web driver. After importing web driver, I will also add the username by writing private string username equal to rex.jones. After username is private string access key. I will come back later to write the value for the access key. Next is private string hub equal to the @hub hub dot lambdatest.com /wd/hub. After lambda test, the hub, we're going to write desired capabilities with an object reference of caps. New desired capabilities. Bingo. At this point, we can write our configuration annotation, which is before class from TestNG. Public void setup. We're going to set the capabilities using the object reference of caps. Set capability. Normally, I start with the capability of build. This value will be 3.1. The order can be anything. It don't have to start with build, but I prefer to start with build, followed by the capability of name. This name will be test geo location. To save myself some time, let me copy this information because I can easily misspell the next values. Browser, let's go ahead and write the geolocation. Geo is in lowercase letters, but the L is uppercase. The geolocation will have a value of IN. IN stands for India. Next is the browser name. And the browser name that we will use is Chrome in lowercase letters, followed by the version of 103.0. After version, I would add the platform, which is Windows 10. After platform, I would add 3 more values, and the name would be network, console, and visual. For network, I would have set the value to true because the default is false. The same would be for console and visual. At this point, before loading the AUT, we're going to add a try catch block for the instance of remote WebDriver. And to create the remote WebDriver, I will place it inside try driver equals new remote WebDriver. Inside remote WebDriver, let's pass in new URL. Import URL, and we have the option of 2 packages, but we will select java.net as the package. Double quotes HTTPS : 2/. I will add the next information on the next line, starting with username, append the colon, followed by the access key, then hub. Last is the object reference of caps. We'll finish with the try portion. Next is the catch, and we're going to catch the malformed URL exception, exe. Then we're going to print the stack trace. Cool. Now we are finished with the try catch block. We will load the AUT so we can track the device. And we load the AUT with driver.get. Let's go back and copy the URL so we can paste the URL. Copy. Since we're on this application, let's inspect the location. Location, my location inspect, and it has an ID value of address. In the IDE, let's paste the URL. We are finished setting up the test. At this point, let's create the test with public void test geo location. Web element address. Let's find the address with driver.findElement by ID, then pass in the value, which was address. Next, we import web element and import by. Let's also print the information that we get with address.get text. Cool. Now we have one more thing to do, and that is to get the access key. So I would go to lambdatest, profile, then copy the access token. Then paste the access token. After pasting the access token, we can run and see what shows up for our test. Let's go to lambda test first. automation builds. And we see it's running. 3.1 is the build. Test geolocation is the name. We see the version 103.0. Platform is 10. We see Chrome as the browser, and it's running. So while it's running, let's go back to the console and see what it shows us. We see it passed with India as the country name because we passed in IN as the value. With lambdatest, it's still running, but let's go ahead and view some of this information. It's generating the test logs. We see a video, username. We see the steps. We're able to report an issue, view the parameters, and also view the screenshot. If I view the screenshot, yes, and it shows us India as a country. Let's watch the video and see what it shows us. The video also shows us India as the country. So it's working as we expect. Next, we're going to look at how to mark the geolocation using the new Selenium 4 feature. Let's go to the IDE. And in the IDE, we're going to create a new class the same way we have normally created a class, by going to demo TestNG, the package, right click, new Java class. The name is geolocation _ Selenium Grid. I apologize. This should be new Java class, geolocation Selenium 4 feature. We already performed a test on Selenium Grid. Most of the times, when we set up in our test, I write web driver, but not this time. This time, we're going to use Chrome driver and import Chrome driver for the geolocation. That's why I'm using Chrome driver, because if we're going to perform a mock of the geolocation, the configuration annotation will be before method public void setup. WebDriver manager .chrome driver .setup. Now create an instance of driver equals new Chrome driver. And we're going to maximize the window with driver.manage.window.maximize. Yes. For this test, we type test as the annotation, public void mock geolocation. And know what? There are two ways to mock a geolocation. We have the option of using the executeCDP command or the DevTools class. We're going to use the executeCDP command to mark the geolocation, starting with driver.exec. Notice the parameters for executeCDP command. They are string commander name and map. So to give you some details of this here, let's go to Chrome DevTools protocol so we can see the method that will be implemented for the string commander name. Search for geo. And here's a list of 4 methods. Our test script will set the geolocation, so the second method has a description that shows overrides the geolocation position. Click this method, and now we see the parameters: latitude, longitude, and accuracy. These are the coordinates for the map. Let's go and search for the coordinates for the tallest building in the world. Okay. Latitude is always first, and the direction is north or south. Longitude is next, and that direction is east or west. The latitude is 25.1972 N, and the longitude is 55.2744 E. I will mark the geolocation with this information. Let's go and copy the URL from 𝒊𝒎𝒐𝒏𝒆𝒔.org. Then go back to the IDE. In the IDE, for the first parameter, let's write on the next line, execute emulation dot set geolocation over rod. And also I'm going to do the next part, which is the second parameter, and that is a map. So let's create the map coordinates equals new hash map. And for this, we're going to pass in the coordinates for the second parameter. But let's first import class and add these parameters of put latitude. And that value was 251972. And I see that we have this red information, and I'll come back and look at that later on why it's put longitude and put those in double quotes. And the longitude is 55.2744. And normally I always add 1 for the accuracy. And for the accuracy, I'm going to put accuracy 1. At this point, I have to go and investigate to see why is it showing us red for put, because normally I'm not used to seeing the red information for put. Coordinates, map coordinates, new hash map, put latitude 25.972. Yes, so I have to investigate to see why it's doing this. Driver.execute, and I'm going to pass in coordinates as the second parameter. And I have to look at this again because I'm not completely sure why it's showing us red. It's saying add qualified coordinates to this here. So I have to just make sure. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, so the red is gone and it has a brown background. The last step is to load the AUT. And let me write driver.get and go to geolocation, Selenium Grid, and put in the information to load the AUT. And let's scroll and see if this information is correct. It looks good. So now I'm going to run. The location should be correct after we see the console and what shows up in this information. Bingo. It shows the correct location as the tallest building in the world. Let's also go to the console and see if the address shows us. It passed, but I did not print the address, but that's okay because the AUT shows the correct information that's in Dubai, because that's what we saw as the correct information. Okay, so the location is correct, because we see the right latitude, longitude, and map to match the location. That's the first way of marking a geolocation. We're showing the correct latitude and longitude. Now, for the second way of marking a geolocation, let's go to Selenium's website. For the second way, it has a section called Emulate Geolocation that shows how to perform the same command using DevTools. First line, it creates an instance of Chrome driver. The second line gets the DevTools, then assign it to the DevTools class. Next session is created. That's when we create the session. After creating a session, a command is sent to emulate the geolocation by overriding the latitude, longitude, and accuracy values. Before quitting the driver, we see the location is loaded up with driver.get. That's how we mark a geolocation using the DevTools class. That's it. And thanks for watching how to mark a geolocation and the TestNG test framework. If you would like to learn more, then make sure to follow the blogs at www.lambdatest.com/blog and community.lambdatest.com. In addition to the blogs, you can earn a certification at www.lambdatest.com/certifications. Get educated, get recognized.